Sometimes companies can be more outcome based instead of being more strategic about gender. So for example, भाई इतनी बढ़ानी है women in management, इतना overall workforce बढ़ाना है. These are commendable. Of course, when you look at these things, you can figure out कि आपको अपना focus कहाँ डालना है. But what's more important in this area is that you can focus on अच्छा ठीक है हमने women in the workforce introduce कर दी. How do we keep them in the workforce? When you keep them in the workforce, then you have to create a retention strategy. And when you have a retention strategy, now you have these women in the workforce. What do? Do they stay in the positions that they were hired for? Do they become numbers that you can talk about when it comes to your external comms? But will they actually move up the career ladder? Will they be introduced into your board leadership just to meet a requirement, or will they actually move throughout the leadership tiers in your organization, learning the business as they go, and then making it to these senior director levels, managerial roles, as somebody who's been with the company for a long time and has seen the history of the company? So we'll look at, so strategy, how do you actually make a long-term plan for gender is one thing where we notice that companies still need a lot of support in. The second thing that I've noticed is that companies are specifically targeting certain areas in their strategy and completely neglecting other areas. So for example, you will notice some companies that have really good policies on hiring women. They have great policies in anti-harassment mechanisms, how to promote safety in the workplace. But then when the section of coaching and mentoring comes up, nothing. There is nothing there. And it's also odd because we do know कि कुछ तो हो रहा है ना, कोई training sessions हो रहे होंगे, कोई leadership के साथ mentorship program शुरू होगा, कोई support programs होंगे ऐसे, but they don't speak to us about it, so then we can't confidently say to anyone that we work with or to the public itself that this company does promote training and leadership for women. So yeah, so 4 or 5 thematic areas, 2 or 3 performing excellently in them, but completely sidelining the other remaining ones. And then the third issue is sometimes we notice that companies have a lot of, I wouldn't call it defensiveness, but I think there is a false impression of what public disclosure means. It is not, we say the word accountability, we do say reporting, and those are, they give you the idea of requirements. But what we're trying to say is, if you are a leader in certain areas, there's no reason why you keep this to yourself. Especially a lot of MNCs, unke global offices are reporting, they have those high standards, they are at the conferences, on those platforms, promoting, showing their leadership in areas of gender equality, inclusion, environment, etc. But the local office isn't doing the same. And the local office for us is more important because the local office is working in the local context. And that is where we can actually showcase leadership that's practical and applicable to other companies in Pakistan.